She sends mixed signals, hot one day, cold the next. She tests your patience with silence, dangles her attention like a reward, then pulls back when you lean in. Sound familiar? Too many men fall into these emotional traps, reacting with desperation, anger, or confusion. But the Stoic man operates differently. He doesn't get caught in her web because he understands a fundamental truth. The moment you react emotionally to her games, you've already lost. Instead, he observes, reflects, and responds with the quiet strength that comes from complete self-mastery. Today, you'll learn 11 Stoic strategies that will transform you from a man who chases validation into one who commands respect through his very presence. When she plays games, most men look for hidden meanings in her words, desperately trying to decode every text message and gesture. The Stoic man does something revolutionary. He ignores what she says and watches what she does. Marcus Aurelius taught us that actions reveal character, not words. If she claims she cares but consistently disrespects your time, her actions are speaking louder than any promise. If she says she's interested but never makes herself available, you have your answer. Stop analyzing her contradictory words and start observing her consistent patterns. A woman of genuine interest doesn't need to be confusing. Confusion is a choice, and clarity comes to those who watch behavior, not promises. The ultimate power move isn't arguing or fighting for your place in her life. It's having the strength to walk away when you're not valued. Seneca understood that our greatest freedom comes from our ability to choose our associations. When she disrespects your boundaries, dismisses your feelings, or treats you as an option, your response shouldn't be words. It should be distance. Walking away doesn't mean you're giving up. It means you're choosing yourself. Most men negotiate and plead when treated poorly. The Stoic man simply removes his presence from situations that diminish his worth. Your absence will teach her what your presence was worth better than any argument ever could. In a world of constant noise, your silence becomes your greatest weapon. While other men fill every awkward pause with nervous chatter, desperately trying to keep her attention, you embrace the power of restraint. Epictetus taught that we have control over our actions and responses, nothing more. When she tries to provoke a reaction with drama or games, you respond with composed silence. You don't need to fill every space with words to prove your worth. Your presence speaks volumes. Let others compete for her attention with constant texting and validation. You communicate through your actions, your consistency, and your unshakable calm. She'll find herself more intrigued by what you don't say than what others can't stop saying. Here's where most men lose themselves. They become so focused on being chosen that they forget they also have the power to choose. The Stoic understands that attachment to outcomes creates suffering. When you desperately need her to pick you, you've already placed her above yourself. Instead, detach from the result. Approach every interaction with genuine interest, but zero desperation. If she chooses you, excellent. If she doesn't, that's information, not devastation. This detachment isn't coldness, it's freedom. You can engage fully while remaining emotionally independent. The paradox is powerful. The less you need her to choose you, the more attractive your self-sufficiency becomes. Between her provocative text and your response lies your power. Most men react instantly, typing out emotional paragraphs in the heat of the moment. The Stoic man masters the pause. When she sends something designed to trigger you, you stop. You breathe. You consider not just what to say, but whether to respond at all. Marcus Aurelius reminds us that we suffer more in imagination than reality. That inflammatory message loses its power when you don't immediately feed it your emotional energy. Take time to craft a response that comes from logic, not emotion. Often you'll discover that no response is the most powerful response of all. Your delayed, measured reactions show emotional mastery that impulsive responses never could. Your emotions are valid, but they don't need to drive every decision. The Stoic principle of living according to nature means allowing reason to guide your actions, not feelings. When she cancels plans last minute or plays hot and cold, your emotions might scream for confrontation or desperate pursuit. Your logical mind, however, recognizes patterns and responds strategically. If someone consistently shows they don't prioritize you, the logical action is to adjust your investment accordingly. This doesn't mean suppressing emotions. It means not allowing them to dictate your behavior. Let your feelings inform you, but let your principles guide your actions. Emotional reactions are temporary, but the consequences of actions based on them can be permanent. Never negotiate your value or lower your standards to accommodate someone who doesn't appreciate what you bring. The Stoic knows his worth isn't determined by external validation. When she suggests that your expectations are too high or that you're asking for too much, you don't argue. You don't defend your standards. You simply maintain them. If basic respect, consistency, and genuine interest are too much to ask for, then she's told you everything you need to know about her character. Men who negotiate their boundaries always lose respect. Men who maintain their standards attract people who can meet them. Your value isn't up for discussion or modification based on someone else's comfort level. When she brings chaos, you bring calm. When she creates drama, you respond with stability. This isn't about being passive, it's about being powerful. Seneca taught that external events cannot disturb our inner peace unless we allow them to. Her emotional outbursts, manipulative silence, or attempts to make you jealous are tests of your emotional regulation. Most men mirror her energy, escalating drama with more drama. The Stoic man responds to her storm with unwavering composure. Your calm presence in the face of chaos demonstrates a strength that words cannot convey. She may initially push harder against your stability, but eventually she'll either respect your boundaries or remove herself from your life. Either outcome serves you. While other men make her the center of their universe, you make your purpose the center of yours. The Stoic understands that a life well lived is focused on contribution, growth, and virtue, not romantic validation. When you have genuine purpose beyond relationships, you become naturally more attractive because you're not desperate for external completion. She becomes an addition to your life, not the foundation of it. This shift changes everything. Instead of pursuing her approval, you pursue excellence. Instead of chasing her attention, you command it through your dedication to something greater than momentary pleasure. A man with genuine purpose doesn't have time for games because he's too busy building something significant. Your silence becomes a shield that deflects manipulation and drama. While others engage in endless back and forth arguments, trying to prove their point or defend their position, you understand that silence is often the most powerful response. When she tries to bait you into emotional reactions, your quiet confidence speaks louder than any comeback. Epictetus taught that it's not what happens to us that matters, but how we respond. Sometimes the most profound response is no response at all. Your silence forces her to confront her own behavior without the distraction of your reaction. It creates space for truth to emerge and patterns to become clear. Learn to be comfortable with quiet moments and watch how others reveal themselves in the space your silence creates. The most profound lesson comes last. Let natural consequences teach her what your words cannot. When she disrespects your time, don't lecture her about punctuality. Simply value your time more highly in future interactions. When she plays games, don't explain why games are immature. Show her through your actions that you don't participate in such dynamics. Marcus Aurelius understood that the best teacher is lived example, not spoken instruction. Your consistent behavior in response to her choices will communicate your standards more effectively than any conversation. This approach requires patience and discipline, but it's incredibly powerful. You're not trying to change her through arguments or manipulation. You're allowing her choices to reveal their natural outcomes while protecting your own peace and dignity. The strongest man is not the one who wins every argument or gets every woman to choose him. The strongest man is the one who no longer needs to prove himself to anyone. He has moved beyond the game entirely. When you truly embody Stoic principles, you realize that trying to outsmart manipulation is still playing on someone else's terms. The real victory comes when you're so grounded in your own worth, so clear about your values, and so focused on your purpose that games simply bounce off you like rain off a mountain. You don't outsmart her tactics because you're too busy building a life so compelling that only people who genuinely appreciate it can stay. This is the ultimate Stoic response. Not playing her game, but changing the entire arena to one where only authenticity and mutual respect can survive.